Hello, my name is David Bastedo and I'm a Kingston area artist and photographer. Welcome to my show at the Works. I paint, generally my paintings are very bright. I grew up in a house with a lot of color and I find color very soothing to me and it makes me happy, and a lot of what I do is about joy and making me happy. And painting is one of those things, and getting my feelings out is one of those things. And yeah, just talking smack in my paintings is sometimes what I need to do to get through the day. And then there are other times where I just want to soothe my soul, and sometimes the span between the two feelings is very short and sometimes it's long. And so I combine all of those elements into my paintings, and that's kind of how we got to some of this work. As you can see, my work is divided into really two kind of themes or areas. One we'll call the left side and one we'll call the right side. The left side is more meditative and the right side is more emotional. On the meditative side are the stripes and the dots. It's repetitive in nature. It soothes my soul. It soothes my mind. My mind races a lot, so sometimes to calm myself down, I like to do repetitive things and micro focus, and that's sort of where these stripes and dots come from in the repetitive work. And then on the other side is sort of a more emotional side, and that is where I kind of explore obviously my emotions and themes and things I'm thinking, and it's a way for me to get out some of my anxiety. I'm filled with anxiety and I'm filled with feelings about not being sure of myself, and honestly anxiety drives me about as much as anything, and so is the fear of failure. That drives me a lot too. The things that really drive me are actually probably on the negative side, and not wanting to be a bad person, not wanting to fail, not wanting to be, I don't know, trying to be good enough, like always trying to get to that next thing, is sort of what drives me. I don't like sitting in one spot for very long. I like moving forward, and so I'm always trying different things and trying to be progressive and trying to push boundaries, because kind of doing the same thing for me is not me. It's boring, it's stagnant, and although I do things repetitively, they're never kind of the same. So I just get hooked on these little metaphors, I guess. Code, encoding. I've done a series of paintings that used Morse code. I've done a series of paintings that use a encrypted alphabet with numbers, and I have recently started painting squares, and squares to me are a geometric shape, so they're sort of math based, but they're windows to me. They're windows. Each one is like an object. In programming, you can have an object that has an input and an output, and then it has its own life, and each square to me has its own life. It's like an object filled with possibilities of what it can contain. Color, texture, shape, style, I don't know, whatever it is, you can project something into it. You can look through it, or it can hold something. So it sort of has this like mirror-like quality and a vassal-like quality, but it can also, and it can reflect like a city. The buildings at night sort of not really reflect, but they have this presence to them, and I just love the notion of that presence and what happens when you put them all together and you think of them as little objects of life and metaphors, and the possibilities of each one having a story and a narrative and a person inside or what have you. And I kind of just like filling them in with color.